Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Miss Dida, and today I wanted to talk about the benefits of writing or journaling. I know sometimes people get technical about the term, so I just wanted to throw those two terms out there to make everyone comfortable. This is something I'm very, very passionate about because it has helped me tremendously, and I never pass up the opportunity to enlighten people about it and also to encourage someone to, take up writing or journaling. Without any further ado, I'm going to get into the benefits of writing or journaling, okay? So the first point is that it keeps me from talking unnecessarily and also from talking to the wrong people. So you know how sometimes when you're going through stuff, you just want to maybe vent and just talk. We all do it, it's natural. But oftentimes we tend to talk to the wrong people or say the wrong things because you are in the heat of the moment, right? I'm not the only one guilty of that because I know this is something that's very common. So instead of going to talk to someone or the wrong person, usually sometimes this could happen at work or at school or with someone you're not that familiar with, and it just sort of puts you in the wrong spot because you're just saying things fresh, how you're feeling. So I find that when I, just take a moment to jot it out and write it, it makes me feel much better instead of having to, maybe go back to whoever you told, like, oh, I didn't mean to say this, that, or having to take things back. And we know once you put something out there, it's just hard to take back. So that is one crucial importance of writing or journaling to me. Secondly, it helps document and articulate my thoughts better. So I find that, sometimes we don't always know what we want to do or how we want to go about it. It's the same with our thoughts and things, we want to say. Given time, you may say it better, but it just may not come out at that very instant. So when you journal or document it, it just helps you, for that moment, you put it down there, and then maybe in a few days, you could go back and look at it differently. It sort of reminds me of writing a paper. You have many different drafts before you get to the final draft, or at least I'm speaking for myself. Whenever I write a paper, I have different drafts before I get to the last draft. So it's sort of like that. Your first draft is usually very rough and not, just the best. Like you wouldn't go ahead and turn it in. So yeah, it's like that. The first time you write, you may not, you may have to tweak it and stuff, and then until you get to where you want to be. So it helps you articulate and, document what you want to say better. Thirdly, it helps me make better decisions. I feel like once I put something down and I'm like, oh, this is what I want to do, maybe after the rough draft, reviewing it, all that good stuff, you get to a point where you're like, oh, I like this. I can go forward with this. And, I can make a decision based on this. A decision, you hopefully wouldn't regret, or it wouldn't be an impulse decision, hopefully. So that's the third point. The fourth point is I find writing therapeutic. Like it's just a great stress reliever, just, to get things out there. Sometimes I notice that after writing, I just feel relieved. Like there's this burden lifted off my shoulder. And when I don't write, I also feel like, oh my God, I feel stressed. I feel tense. Like I need to get this out there. I can guarantee you, once you get into it, after a while, you start feeling that way. Like, oh, I have to write, or I have to write. It just makes you feel much better. The next is it's great for identifying patterns. So this goes back to, if you have this habit of writing, maybe you wrote something in 2015 and you're like, oh, how did I, deal with whatever situation, maybe at work or with a friend, or, because usually with life, similar situations come up, right? So you can go back and go like, how did I deal with that in 2015? So it's a great way to reference things you've done in the past and also identify patterns as well. So if you notice, or sometimes you keep doing the same things, or maybe talking the same way about certain things, or talking to the same people, things like that. It helps you identify those patterns, and mostly your role in those situations. I mean, if you're someone who reflects and like to look inwardly, you would maybe easily be able to say, oh, I should have done this better. The next is, it helps you plan long and short-term goals. For those of us that are goal-oriented, we usually have maybe weekly, monthly, yearly goals, or they ask questions at interview like, what's your 5-year goal, or where do you see yourself in 5 years, things like that. So it helps you, for yourself, document your goals, things you want to accomplish, and hopefully you're able to go back and keep yourself accountable, if need be. So that's another great thing about it. And it ties into the second point too, which is it keeps you accountable. If you write something, it's easy for you to look at it. Like, for example, my last year, we wrote our 2017 goals last day of December last year, and you see those stuff. I mean, depending on how frequently you look at things you've written, you go like, oh my God, we haven't done this, we haven't done that, or I haven't done this, I haven't done that. So it helps you, maybe at that time you're like prioritizing what's important or what you need to do. But either ways, it just keeps you accountable. Like, okay, keeps you in check to do things that you really, really planned on doing. The next is, it keeps you from venting unnecessarily on social media. So I know y'all know people that vent on social media. Like, they vent so much that you're like, is everything okay? Or you just think to yourself, oh my God, I wonder what's wrong with that person. So yes, social media is great to be connected with our friends and family, but I don't necessarily think it's a great place to vent and put your issues out there. So yeah, if you are ever thinking of doing that, I would implore you get a journal and maybe write it in there and see how you feel in 2 or 3 days. If you still feel like, sharing it on social media, then by all means. But I find that it's best, or it keeps you away from social media, where people can like easily identify if something is going on with you or not. Like, we don't really want that. Next, I think writing helps you speak and write better. Like we all know, once you keep doing things for so long, you retain certain skills and also improve those skills. So I think journaling helps you be a better speaker and or writer. And lastly, and most importantly, I think journaling helps you know yourself better. It helps you know what works for you, what doesn't work. Like for me, I know that I love listening to music. I find music therapeutic. I love candles, scented candles. It just relaxes me. I like, just different things you like. So whenever you're down, you can do those stuff to put you in a better mood. And, it just helps you know yourself better. So yeah, those are all the benefits I could think of from my point of view that journaling has helped me with. And I think it's a great thing to do. It's a great habit to get into. I know there's a lot of stigma associated with it. Like, people think it's a bad thing, or you need help, or you need a therapist, things like that. I actually think it saves you from all that. just being in tune with yourself. My goal is to write every day. Doesn't always happen. That's just the reality. But it's nice to know that it's there whenever you need it. So that's it. If you have any thoughts or experiences regarding journaling, please feel free to share. Let's hear it. If you have any other benefits in addition to some of the ones I already spoke about, please do not hesitate to share them. And I just wanted to thank you for stopping by today, and I will catch you later.